in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, my name is Doug Wilson, and I'm the President and CEO of the Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore. And you are watching the Community Foundation Spotlight here on PAC 14. And with me today is Sue Revel. And Sue is the Executive Director.
That's right.
Of Women Supporting Women, located here in our area. And we're going to talk about that a little bit.
Well, before we get started, Doug,
Okay.
I want to congratulate you on your new position as President of the
nice.
Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore.
I've only been in the job 3 weeks, so that's what she's referring to. Thank you for that. That was very nice of you. Well, tell me what kind of an organization Women Supporting Women is.
We are a regional breast cancer support organization, and our mission is to provide awareness, education, and support to anyone affected by breast cancer. And that means whether you are a man or a woman with breast cancer. It also means family, support people, neighbors, co-workers, because everybody's affected when someone's diagnosed with breast cancer.
So it's the broad family.
Yes.
Because everyone is. What percentage of breast cancers are for men, or do men?
There's usually about 10%.
Thank goodness.
Which is what's kind of interesting. When we started way back in 1993, we named our organization Women Supporting Women because of the fact that about 99% of the people diagnosed were women.
Right.
And now, unfortunately, men being diagnosed has increased over the years.
So do you help those as well?
Absolutely do.
Yeah.
Yes.
So my guess is that it's out of this need to support women who have these not only physical needs but mental needs as well, dealing with the stress and the anxiety of the disease. Is that how you started, or am I guessing here?
That's exactly how we started. I was actually part of, or one of the co-founders. There were 3 of us back in 1993. One was counselor, Harriet Fine. Carol Prager was a school teacher, and I was a nurse. And the 3 of us got together, and there was at that time no cancer support group at all.
Right.
Not only just for cancer in general, but none for breast cancer. And I had someone come and ask for a support group because she needed the emotional support. So that's how we really got started.
Well, in addition to emotional support, what kinds of things does Women Supporting Women do? What kind of services do they provide? Give me the litany.
Give you everything.
That's
okay.
Right.
Well, we started out with something that is really our signature, and that is informational, what we call totes. And they started out as big envelopes full of material. We like the woman to be informed. It helps her be part of the medical team, know what questions to ask, empowers her to be part of this whole decision making. So we started out with that.
Kind of an educational approach.
It was all educational. I mean, along with the emotional, it kind of goes together.
Right.
But it was educational, and when they were newly diagnosed, they were given this packet of information, which has now become a really nice tote bag. In that bag, we give them some very good materials on all aspects of breast cancer, including sexuality, single women, children, reconstructions. The book and information is excellent. We also have books in there now for the person who is the caretaker. They get a little pillow that goes under the seatbelt, so when they come back after their first surgery to see the doctor, they have some support there. They're given a big pillow. It's called a piglet. It's a support pillow that goes underneath the arm, and it looks like a big dog bone.
And that's because there's nodes and things.
Yes, and that's a tender area, so that gives them support.
Right.
We do a monthly newsletter that has been going out for, let's see, we're 19 years old, and we've probably been putting this newsletter out monthly for at least 15 years.
Wow.
It's about 12 pages, and we cover quite a few aspects, including a medical article, something complimentary, nutrition, emotional, a survivor story, kind of all aspects. We have something brand new that in the last year I'm so excited about. We have a lift chair. Women who have both breasts removed, which more and more women are opting to have done, it's very difficult for them to pull up to get out of bed when they're laying down or
Right.
on the sofa. So this is a recliner that can actually tilt back for them to sleep in and then lift them all the way up to standing so they're not pulling on the incisions.
Right.
And we have
Terrific.
3 of those. So we loan those out.
Mm-hmm.
We have wigs for anybody. You do not have to be a breast cancer survivor to access our wigs
Oh, that's interesting.
and our hats.
Yeah.
We don't want anybody to have to go without a wig if they need it after they've started their
And
chemo.
what about for me? Would you have
And-
something for me? No.
You have to
You
come
don't
over.
even have
Come
to
on.
you don't even have to answer. Go ahead.
I think you look just fine. The
Thank
way
you so
are.
much.
Yeah, we have, let's see, our tote bags.
Right.
The newly diagnosed, we then go in and have one for chemotherapy when they start that, one for radiation. We have started having children's age-related materials because we've
Great.
had so many younger women.
Right.
We have a monthly support group.
Right.
And let me see, we have a library. And we have a lot of hats
Right.
also. I don't want to miss anything.
No.
And we have that in all 3 chapters.
Now, if the woman, God forbid, passes away
Yes.
from her disease, are services still available to her family?
We usually refer them to hospice.
Okay.
And even if they've not connected with hospice, they're willing to help them out afterwards because they are more qualified than we are. I don't have anybody in place to specifically do that. Now, that doesn't mean they can't come and talk with us and we can't give them hugs and love. But to have counseling, we pass that on to hospice.
Okay. How do women access Women Supporting Women? How do they get to know about you? How do
We
they-
have several ways.
Okay.
You can look us up in the phone book.
Uh-huh.
You can look on our brand new website,
Oh, boy.
www.womensupportingwomen.org.
Okay.
Right now, the physicians, the surgeons in all 3 areas have our tote bags. So when the woman's diagnosed, she is given that bag. Then she can decide, does she want us to talk with her or not? She still takes the bag of information,
Right.
but otherwise we can talk to her. She can call us herself, a friend can call and give us a number, and we need to get permission from her.
Okay.
But just about any way, any physician's offices or anybody.
So you've worked and networked with the physician offices in town, so they're plugged into your services
Yes.
as well. Probably uniformly refer them.
We also get referrals from Peninsula Regional Hospital.
That's a good thing.
Yes, in their outpatient, once the woman's had her surgery, she's asked if she would like us to be contacted.
Wow. Now, do you charge for your services?
Absolutely not.
Then
None
how are
of
you
them.
funded? That's the big question.
With a lot of work.
I bet so.
The majority of our funding comes from the community.
Okay.
We do that through kindness of businesses, individuals. We've even had a couple children opt out of birthday gifts, believe it or not,
To give.
and ask to give. We do fundraisers,
Uh-huh.
so we get our funding that way, and we also access grants. But we have no national nor state funding at all.
Wow.
We are grassroots, and we don't do research, so we don't get a lot of funding from any of the national organizations at all either.
So you're not in any way related to or part of a broader national
That
group?
is correct. We
Right.
are not. And that's a huge mistake that people don't quite understand, and I understand that, but it's been an ongoing battle to try to get people to understand that we are not affiliated.
Wow. But you serve more than Wacomico County? Or?
Yes, we serve Wycomico County with an office, Worcester County with an office, Somerset County with an office, and then we have a support group in Cambridge, and we also service up into the Midshore area. We service up to just about Georgetown, mostly Del Mar, Laurel, Seaford area,
Uh-huh.
Selbyville, and we actually service Chincoteague and down into the upper part of Virginia.
Wow. Before continuing, I just want to remind the viewers that I'm Doug Wilson from the Community Foundation, and I'm here with Sue Revel from Women Supporting Women, and we're talking about Women Supporting Women and the services they provide. So, do you use volunteers?
Yes, in many, many aspects. We are, if you call, we will fit you in. I can always use somebody in the office.
Yeah.
We mostly can use people at events, at health fairs. So people making piglets, people making pink ribbons for us.
Right.
We utilize a lot of groups, women's groups, church groups, and it sort of is like a dual aspect to that. One of them is to help us by being a volunteer, but the other is for breast cancer awareness, because you cannot do something like that without talking about breast cancer.
Yeah.
So it really works. We give to them and they give to us.
Is breast cancer, I think I know the answer to this, but is breast cancer the #1 disease for women, or is it not?
It is.
It is. Oh my goodness. Now, does that also result in the greatest mortality rate for women?
No.
No, that's...
Lung cancer is the greatest mortality rate.
For women?
Yes.
Really? It's not heart disease? Although that's probably...
Well, yes,
yeah.
but in the cancer realm.
In the cancer
realm, it's lung cancer. In the overall, it's heart now.
My
Yes,
goodness.
which
But-
it didn't used to be. We are graduating up.
Well, are we making any strides to improve survivorship with breast cancer? I suspect part and parcel of what you're doing, greater awareness for the disease and getting people in touch with what they need to know early on is helpful. But what's the prognosis for breast cancer being diminished?
You're exactly right, Doug. Trying to get people with early detection. I mean, that's one of the major parts of saving lives, because if we can detect breast cancer early, we can remove it and give them a full life.
Right.
And there are so many new drugs that are coming out that are extending or making the life longer for women.
Right.
Herceptin is not something that extends your life, but Herceptin is a new, in the last 3 or 4 years, the HER2 gene replicates and makes the cells grow very quickly.
Right.
So this stops this from happening.
So
women who had passed away because it increased their breast cancer growing more rapidly, it's not happening now. So that was a huge help. And they're finding more and more drugs out there to extend
the
lives of them, yes.
You mentioned earlier, Sue, that more and more women are choosing to have both breasts removed. And I know some folks that have done that. Can you speak to that and say what's precipitating that kind of that's pretty dramatic, I would think.
Well, it is. I'm finding some people doing it prophylactically because they carry the gene, the BRCA gene, and they have chosen to do that. Several women, and it is truly individual as to whether they want to have both taken off. Some women say, okay, I don't have time. I'm taking care of an invalid husband to go for radiation, so I don't want a lumpectomy. I want to have my breast removed because of just easier for them at the time. Some women say, no, I don't want to have the emotional aspect of worrying, even though you never have 100%, even if you have both breasts removed.
Right.
There's still always a percentage that it
still get a
could
recurrence.
come back. That is correct.
Right.
But it is less, and so the emotional aspect plays a big part in it. So it really is an individual decision for that woman to make. But I do see more. Sometimes the reconstruction is more even.
Yes.
When they do something like that. So our chair, we've had our chair for 3 years now, and the first year we had it, it was out an average of maybe 4 weeks at a time, and we only had it in for 2 weeks out of 1 year. So
Really?
It was just ironic how one person got done with it, and the next person was there to take it.
Do you see it increasing, double mastectomies?
Yes,
You do.
I do.
That's prophylactically, right? Or no?
No, just choosing, like they have breast cancer on one side, and the doctor says you can have a lumpectomy or a mastectomy, and some of the women are saying just take them both. So that I do see on an increase.
Okay. How can the community support women supporting women? What can we do?
Funding is huge, as it is to any nonprofit, especially local. It allows us to continue to do our free services, and we are a front line. Again, there's a lot of misunderstanding. Most of the national organizations do research. That is not what we're here for. We are here for that person right in the beginning when they're diagnosed to walk in and give them support. We give great hugs, by the way, and so that's something that
I've been the beneficiary of your hugs.
some people come in and just stop by on their way to treatment to get their hug, but we give emotional support. We have a lot of support items like the bags of information, the pillows,
Right.
the wigs.
Right.
Wigs can be rather expensive, and so having those free are great. In fact, we recycle wigs. We send them to the Beauty Academy and to Parkside Beauty
Oh,
School.
yes.
They clean them for us, and we recycle. So anybody
fantastic.
who might have them, we're always happy for having them brought into us.
Right.
Volunteering for us, and I think probably one of the most important things is to let people in the community know that we're here,
Right.
so that nobody has to go through breast cancer alone.
Right. And I think there's a big network out there of breast cancer survivors who are applauding your efforts and the great services that you provide. I don't know of one breast cancer victim, that's probably a harsh word, who doesn't know about Women Supporting Women or have had some kind of relationship with you. So it seems to be you're very much in the forefront of taking care of those folks that have breast cancer.
Well, we hope so. That's our major goal.
So if we could encourage folks from the community to get involved with Women Supporting Women, either as a volunteer or to provide you money, they can go to your website,
Yes.
which is www.
Women Supporting Women, all the way out.
Women Supporting Women.
.org.
And it is tax deductible.
It is.
We need to say that. Do you have anything fun and exciting or coming up that
We
you want to
do.
tell
We
us
actually
about?
have 3 things that they can
Oh,
support
good.
us with.
Let's hear it.
The first one is this is our second year with Seagull Century. We've
Yeah.
had a team. So anybody who's planning on riding in it and would like to join our team, please give us a call or go to our website.
Great.
Or they can join in. They don't have to be part of a cycling group.
Uh-huh.
And that is October 6th at SU. Our
Terrific.
second one is our walk, and this will be our 11th year. We average about 12 to 1,300 people. It's at Winter Place Park on the 13th,
Good.
and we always have a wonderful time out there.
And people can just come and sign up or go to your website and they get
Yes.
information on
They
it?
they can have teams ahead of time, or they can just come out that day and sign up.
Great.
And the third one we have is a crab feast down in our Chrisfield chapter.
You're up
And
my alley
that's
now.
one you don't want to miss.
All
It's
right.
everything that you can possibly think of. We have crabs and corn
Crabs.
and crabs and crabs and the best ones that there are on the shore. And so I'm sure that.
And where's that?
That is in Chrisfield, down
Down
at
in
our
Chris-
Chrisfield chapter. So please go to our website and you will find everything that you need.
Great. Well, we've been talking with Sue Revel, the Executive Director of Women Supporting Women. We certainly encourage you to all make a tax-free contribution to their services, which are provided to women and men, much fewer men, I would guess. But we certainly encourage your support. They provide great services to the community, and they help a lot of women in need. So, this is Doug Wilson, again with Sue Revel, and you've been watching the Community Foundation Spotlight on PAC 14. Thank you very much for looking in.
Would you like to see your community organization or nonprofit group featured on PAC 14? To get started, contact us at 410-677-5014 or visit our website at www.pac14.org. PAC 14 is a great way to connect with your community.